Welcome to Morning Rituals. I'm Andrea Luzon. This group, this moment, this gathering is really about reconnecting with our intentions and getting back to your values and who you know you are. We're stepping away from the triggers that happen in our lives, and we are reconnecting with that perfection that is always there inside of you, waiting for you to reconnect. And so, before we do a bit of a shake off today, I would love to talk with you a bit about expanding time. As a mother, I know for me, there are moments with my children when the situation is not as I expect, and there are times that I respond from that wounded place inside. It's like a defense mechanism. And so you've all heard of fight, flight, or freeze. And so fight, flight, or freeze is really occurring when we're triggered. And oftentimes a trigger is in response, we are triggered because a situation is tapping into an unresolved wound from when we were younger. Most people believe age 0 to 8 is when those unresolved wounds happened, and yet I also believe that sometimes our trigger responses can also be just a defense mechanism that has lived in our body for decades. We could have dealt with that childhood trauma, but that response of how we address certain situations is built into the older parts of our brain. And it just kind of comes from the body. Have you ever had that moment where you can almost watch yourself reacting to a situation in a way that you're not proud? And it's like you're watching a tumbleweed roll down the highway or next to the highway, and you're just kind of like, it's almost like you can see yourself misbehaving, acting in a way that you're not proud. So, so we have these responses that come up and sort of bubble out of us. And how do we shift? How do we shift that moment where maybe you have, like, going to school in the morning? Perhaps there's a repeating situation in your life where a certain person shows up or a repeated situation shows up and you're thinking, oh, here we go. And you kind of know yourself well enough to know that this is a kind of a hot button situation. So how do we shift? And for me, what I love to think about in those moments, those kind of expected moments of I may misbehave, I may act in a way I'm not proud, is expanding time. So there's that moment of a trigger a triggering situation you've had, and then there's our reaction. And typically it's so fast that we don't have a moment to breathe. And so for those of us on the journey of greater self-awareness, it's about expanding that time between here's something in the past that I may have reacted to, and then here's me responding. So instead of them being sandwiched together, we get to breathe and expand that moment. So a great way to do that is when you are feeling that heat rise, or you're feeling sort of that bubbling is starting to happen, is to breathe. Take a deep inhale. Let's practice that together for a moment. And even asking yourself, who am I? What a great question to ask as you're feeling that visceral, that engine starting to turn into the situation, fight, flight, freeze. Who am I? Just breathing. Who am I? And another great question, what matters right now? What matters? Does me being right matter? Does me having control of this other person or this situation, is that really what matters? Or can I just breathe and return to my soul purpose, return to my intentions? And so, as we're thinking about perhaps a certain stacker. That's how I like to think of individuals who have pushed those buttons of my life lessons, those people who push that lesson button and are giving me the choice to choose who I want to be in that moment. So let's think of maybe some stackers that we have in our lives, those people or those situations. And I would love for us to take a couple deep breaths, and then we're going to shake that off a bit. Okay, so I'm leaning back into my chair, getting snuggled in. And I would love for you to just take a deep inhale in this moment. Ready, inhale through your nose. Hold in that life force, that expansiveness, and then blow out with some sound. Beautiful. And then we're going to blow out again, or we're going to, inhale through your nose again. Ready, inhale. Holding in that air, holding in that life, and then blowing out again. Beautiful. Let's do one last inhale together. Ready? Inhale. Holding. And exhale out. Allow yourself to shake off. And now, I would love for you to have the courage to stand up for yourself, stand for your evolution, stand for your intentions, and let me know if you hear this music, because we are going to simply shake. Almost think back of those times in your life that were a little hard, and let's just shake off any stuck energy inside of our bodies. So your soul needs you to level up and shake off that old way of being. So here we go. Here we go. Wow. I had fun. I hope you had fun. Outstanding. And now we are going to turn down the volume a bit. I trust you're feeling in your body. Hopefully you're feeling some joy. And here we go, back to some relaxing music. I'm going to return to my chair, which is a bit squeaky. Okay, whether you are sitting, standing, feeling all the feels, lying down also works. Just settle into your body, pushing out any stale air that you might have been holding on to during that little dance, that shake off moment. Just allow anything that's still clinging to you to just drip down your spine and leave through the bottom of your spine, just dripping off into the floor, being accepted by the ground beneath you. Just letting that go, shaking that off. Feel your forehead relax. Feel the tension leave the muscles across your forehead and around your eyes. Allow any tension to move out of your neck, your shoulders, your torso, your arms, even allowing your arms to hang by the sides of your body. Feeling greater, deeper relaxation. Allow your eyelids to flutter shut. Breathe. Breathe into what you love about yourself. Breathe into your innate joy, your innate freedom, your innate playfulness. Think of what you felt as you hopped up and down during that last song, feeling that freedom, that release, that time of no expectation, just beauty, just being in the moment. And remember that when those moments come up where you feel separate, that you just get to breathe. Who do I get to be in this moment? What really matters in this moment? Breathing and returning to your soul purpose, returning to your intentions. And so today is really about breathing and expanding time. When we're feeling separate, we get to expand time and remember who we really are. And so allow yourself to go within for just a few moments and just simply observe your breath, that you are life, And you decide each moment who you get to be. You get to expand the moment and tap back into your intentions. As we come back into the room, take a deep inhale through your nose. Ready, inhale. And exhale out. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Allow the corners of your mouth to lift and your eyelids to flutter open. I am so grateful for today. I have some deep stuff was coming in. A little mantra was, I am the expander of time. That was a fun one that landed. If you're so open to it, this is the time where I love to challenge you to get a piece of paper and a pen. A favorite journal or notebook or pencil is also great. Whatever feels good to you. I am turning to a new page. And my first question that I would love for you to write down and then reflect upon is, what values do I most want to embody? What values do I most want to embody? And for me, playfulness is the biggest one. Playfulness, freedom, passion, and presence. Those are my 4. And so what do you want to be known for? Like what value would you love if you could have one that just pumps out of your body and flows out into the world? What values do you most wish to embody? And the second question, what really matters to me today? What really matters to me today? And so, those of us who are here together in the recording room, we will stay and continue journaling. And we will also have some discussion, which is the most fun part. And for those of you watching the recording or watching us through the live stream, I challenge you to continue with these questions today and maybe even see if you can live into one of those values that you chose. Like what if one of them was your modus operandi today? And if you could tie that into what really matters to me today. Let's say it's the playfulness and it's time with my kids. Like how could I just be playfulness? How could playfulness just live and just exude from my body and my soul and my mind and my words? How could I embody playfulness today? And maybe even in every situation, maybe at the coffee shop, maybe at the grocery store, maybe at the office, or in a conversation with a coworker. And so that wraps up our session today. I'm so grateful that you've been here. I'm looking forward to hearing how that lands for you today. How are you expanding time, especially in those moments of trigger? And how are you tapping into what matters most by living your values? So, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrea Luzon. This has been Morning Rituals. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.